Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful, profitable week. The market, once again, is starting to set up nicely. There we've got some nice setups starting to look a lot clearer than we had last week. So even if we didn't have much clearer setups last week, we were able to get some quite some good trades going, as you'll see when we start with the analysis. All right, so if you're interested, if you're watching these videos and you're only interested in specific pairs, I usually do this in the beginning just so that it can make it easier for you. I want to go on to one of my videos. If you're watching this and you're only interested in a specific pair, this is what you need to do. You just go to any of my previous videos on YouTube. Under the description, let's just see if I can find it. Yeah, here's one here. Under the description of the video, you will find that each and every pair that's going to be discussed here tonight is time-stamped. So that means you don't have to go looking for a specific pair. You can just go and click where on a pair that you're looking for. For example, I'm currently looking at US dollar CAD on the 27th of August, the one that was done on the 27th of August. So when you click on that, it will take you straight where US dollar CAD analysis starts. So that makes it a lot easier. What you can even do is you can go to my channel and open all the videos and just track back each video, clicking a single pair, just tracking the history. So this is what I was doing here with this pair on US dollar CAD, and I was tracking the history of the analysis from June up to date. And you'll see as we go on, we'll discuss this, that we've actually forecasted this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this fifth move that is currently happening. So this helps for just to check the accuracy of the webinar and how we look at the market and how it plays out after the analysis, because that's very important. All right, so about the course, the next course, we've just completed the recent one last week. The next course is going to be, actually we've got the last course of the year. It's going to be on the 3rd of December up until the 13th of December. That is the last course of the year. Okay, so if you don't attend that course, the next course will only be next year in February. Okay, so it is December. The cost of the price of the course is $529 US. That price is only valid up until the last course. So next year the prices are going to be reviewed. We're doing a whole lot more than we used to in the group. So hence the price review in the following year. So anybody who's interested in the course, send me an email. You'll also find my details on the description of the video. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll find the email on the description of the video. You can just send me an email, that's vmanena@gmail.com, and I will give you detailed information on the course. That is the timing, the content of the course, and the duration. All that information you will find on email. You won't get much information here, because here we try to spend the time just focusing on the analysis. So if you're interested in the course, next one, last one for the year, don't miss it. Otherwise you'll wait up until next year. So those that are interested in the course for next year, for this year, December, you don't have to wait for December to register. Registration are already open. A lot of people have already started registering, because when you register, immediately when you register or sign up for the course, you are going to get course recordings. You're going to get video materials, at over 20 hours worth of video materials for the course that you can start watching and learning while you're waiting for the December course. Okay, so after December, the only thing you'll be able to access is the course recorded videos, but we won't have the live one up until next year, February. All right, so let's get back to the analysis and just look at what we've been up to during the week. Okay, so last week, I'm going to look at Euro US dollar and the dollar index. But before we do that, I'm going to do some sort of a trade recap, but I'm going to do it differently this time. I'm not going to go through all the pairs that we were looking at. I'm going to go through just the dollar index and the Euro US dollar, just to show you some setups that we were looking at and how it played out during the week. As for the rest of the pairs that we have been looking at, I will look at them as we go on. Okay, I'll keep referring to how we traded it in the group. So that's just to show you how we operate in the group as well. All right, so let's look at the Euro US dollar and the dollar index. We've got Euro US dollar and the dollar index at the bottom. Right, so last week I said two things can happen. We were here last week during the Sunday webinar, and I indicated that we are in a correction, and a correction can play out a number of different ways. But what you want to do when you are in this stage, you want to take the next immediate move. Okay, so the next immediate move will have enough information and data for you to know the next, at least the next move. What I try to do here is focus a number of moves ahead. Maybe 3, 4, sometimes even 5 waves ahead. So obviously, as you go on to more waves, then the accuracy starts diminishing. But the next immediate trade will be very accurate. So that's why I'll show you what we're looking at post the webinar on Sunday. So the Sunday we were here on Euro US dollar. Let's just take that off. We'll discuss this more in detail, and we were also here on the dollar index. So this is what we're looking at in the group. If I go to Euro US dollar, this is how it's set up. This is the dollar index. Let's go to Euro US dollar. This is the platform that we use in our group. We've got over 300 Elliott Wavers in the group. That's another advantage of being in the group. You get assistance from over 300 people who are looking at the charts the same way you are. All right, so let's look at Euro US dollar. So Euro US dollar, this is what we looked at. And the interesting thing about this setup was not even clear on Euro US dollar. We looked at this to come down all the way here. As you've seen in the charts, this has actually dropped up to this level and sort of reversed. So we'll do an update on that. So we were trading the next immediate move, and this move we were only trading it not based on this structure, because this structure was not clear, but the structure that was clearer was the DXY. That's why we were able to sell it here. So this is what the DXY was showing us. So this was the setup on euro. The market came down here, didn't come here all the way as we were anticipating, but it can still get there. We'll see when we do the analysis. Now let's look at the DXY as well. So the DXY, let's go to the DXY channel, so the dollar index. So the dollar index had a clearer setup than the euro, and it was showing us clearly that this was going to reverse here, and the dollar index has done this move. Even though this has now come to this level and made a pullback. Is this a reversal? Is this going to make a regular flat, or is it going to push up here higher than that? That's what we're going to do when we start looking at the analysis. So this is how you trade when the market is in a correction. You take the next immediate move. That's what we have been doing, taking the next immediate move on that. Okay, so that is Euro US dollar and the dollar index. Okay, so stay tuned also for US dollar CAD that we discussed last week and how it is set up. And I'm going to give you a detailed analysis on US dollar CAD. So let's have a look at Euro US dollar and the dollar index. So the analysis there. So we are currently in this consolidation. Maybe I should just show on the daily what we're looking at. We've got a long swing. We've got a swing coming from right at the top here, coming down here at this point. And now we are in this consolidation that has made a 1, 2, 3 move like that. We're looking for this to make 1, 2, 3. That's why we're looking to sell at that level. Okay, this has now pulled back. Does this mean that this is going to reverse now? Let's just look here. Let's just switch off. We also have the same thing here. 1, 2. This is actually supposed to be a wave 4 on the dollar index. You'll see as I go to a single chart. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pull back. 1, 2. This did not take the top here. The euro has tagged the bottom. Okay, that doesn't mean anything at this stage. So this can still do this, guys. It can still do this and complete the move that we are looking for and come and at least retest that level. That can also come and do that, give us this move, and maybe make a bounce back and down, make a bounce back and up. That's what we'll be looking for. So this is actually still our wave 3. This can be a wave 4 on the dollar index. This is still wave 3 here. This can still be a wave 4 on Euro US dollar. So let's have a look at a single chart and look at what we're looking at in the next coming sessions, right? And the next immediate move from this. I'm going to go single chart. We're going to look at both of them. I'm going to look at Euro US dollar first. Let's go one chart. So this is Euro US dollar. Now, if we look here on Euro US dollar, let's just look at the whole chart so we can see where we're going and where we're coming from. So where we're coming from is this here. We're looking at this here. You've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, and then the 5 was the 4 was a triangle, and then you had the last 5 there in green. So what we are now thinking, we're actually thinking that this was the wave 5, and this was completed a couple of weeks back until this started setting up like the way it is setting up right now. Okay, so now that means we've got that yellow 1, 2 that is still incomplete. So we still have this 3, 4, which we don't know whether this is all the 3, or whether these 3 is gonna make a regular flat like that, maybe even bounce back before it goes down, making this a big regular flat that becomes a wave 4 now for a down move. So this is what we do not know at this stage, and these are the puzzles that we need to put up inside this correction. Okay, so how is this setting up now? Let's go in the middle here. So this is the puzzle that could play out here. 1, 2. This has pulled back up here now. We've got the move down. This could come back and retest here and still come back down. Okay, so that's what we'll be looking at on Euro US dollar. Let me just remove the labelings there. So you could still have that as a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 bounce and then down. So this will be a regular flat. This will be a wave 4. This will be a wave 3, and then you go for a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then green here you get your internal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For those that likes the numbers, 1, 2, 3. You can see that the wave 4 was a triangle there, and then you'll be looking for a wave 5 to come down. Okay, so it's getting clearer, but what's gonna be even clearer is when this whole structure is complete. When it is complete, then you're gonna get this whole move, and this move is gonna be something like this, because this is where the money is. There's no money here. There's no money here. There's no money here. You want the money when the market is trending. So a lot of people have been losing money because the market is not really going anywhere. Okay, so you need to know when to stay out of the market and when to be in the market when the market is not trending. Okay, so let's have a look here. So we've got this bit of a bounce here. Let's see. Well, if you look here, we've got 1, 2. There's a similar situation has happened like that, where you get something like this, it drops, something like this here, where you get a bounce here, you get something like that, and then it drops, and then it starts correcting like that before it drops. Similar here. You see that this is exactly the same structures. It can do the same thing. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, goes up, and then it bounces. 1, 2, 3. Let's just show what I'm talking about here. This piece here, let's get the bounce pattern. This piece here has done this. It could be exactly the same thing as this piece there. See, so that could let's just correct that. Let's just correct that. So this piece has started there. 1, 2, 3. So this is what we'll be looking at. Okay, so we'll be looking for this to come back here. Let's crop it there. So we'll be looking for this move to do something like this. Put it there. See? So there's a possibility for this one to do the exact same move here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Not this big, and then drop. And drop like that. So that's what we're going to be looking at. We're also looking at that to give us a similar pattern. All right, so that is a Euro US dollar. Now let's look at the dollar index. The dollar index was very clear, and this is why we sold euro here. And not because this we could see the structure clearly, but because we could see the DXY structure clearly. Let's look at the DXY dollar index. Okay, so this is what the dollar index was showing us. It was also showing us clear divergence, and that's why we could see that this was going to pop up. Even though this one has now retraced here, there's still a possibility that this can actually push up higher. Okay, there's still a possibility for this to push higher. If not, then this can still do this. 1, 2, 3, 1, come back up before we come down. So either way, we'll be expecting both possibilities. So let's see how this one sets up in the next coming sessions. All right, that's Euro US dollar and the DXY. So you have to take the next immediate move right now. If we get a correction here, we'll take it back to this level. Otherwise, this starts becoming the correction. It starts pushing back up here. That will be going for our target as we were initially planned. Now, the interesting one, let's carry on with the rest of the US dollar pairs. Okay, let's start with the pound US dollar before we go to US dollar CAD. Pound US dollar. So pound US dollar, there's a spike on the pound pairs last week. Also, this is one of the pairs that we looked at also in the week. I think let me just bring up Slack. I hope I can find it quicker. Let's see what we looked at. Pound US dollar. Let's look at pound US dollar. Okay, so this is how we looked at pound US dollar, that it was going to break down here and come back to this level. Okay, come back to this level and then bounce up. So we've got this three wave coming down now, and we'll be looking for a bit of a bounce to the upside. But is the move to the upside complete? Let's have a look. Let's go back. This looks like it has made a three wave move to the upside. Okay, can still come back for one before we go up. Okay, so we need to keep an eye on this one and see what we're getting here, because we don't have any specific setup. We don't know if this is just a single impulse, if it's going to give us a correction and go up like that for one down. So this it is not very clear at this stage. Okay, so this is what we'll be looking at on the pair. We are looking at this as a one. We looked at this as a pullback, so it's a 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back. And I was looking for this one to give me a move like that. If I just do that, this is the move I'm looking at. 1, 2, 3. I'm always looking for this move. Is this piece here gonna give me this move, or is this piece still gonna come down for one here? Because the way this is coming down here, it's not going all the way. Even if it comes down, it's just gonna be coming here for this move. So which means that what we're gonna have here is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, regular flat, and then another 1, 2, 3. Simple as that. Let's just make this one look clear in the middle here, so you don't make it messy. We draw it like we know what we're talking about. Okay, so this is what it will look like: a clear three-wave move. If it sets up like that, then most likely then you're going to get a very nice move to the downside like that. Okay, but the trick now is to wait for what you're going to get as the next move here. Whether it's going to make a bigger regular flat first, like this, before it goes, or whether this move is all the correction, whether this three wave is all the correction, whether this is all the correction, and you're going to get this. So you can see that either way, you're going to get a WXY structure. Either way, you're going to get that. So that is the tricky part about the correction. A drop here will give us a complete regular flat, and we're going to start a new move. Otherwise, a move here is already telling us we already have this one here, and we just need to get the last one. Okay, so keep an eye and watch it like that. So that is the pound. So the nice one, interesting one, US dollar CAD. We spoke about this one, and I said we have an almost guaranteed trade. Obviously, did not play out exactly as we anticipated. Last week we were here, said we got an almost guaranteed trade that is going to rally into the 32 area. Okay, so you cannot go and claim that we got this one right. No, it actually pulled back deeper than what we anticipated. But let's have a look. Actually, let's have a look at the history of this chart from when we were still up here. Okay, when we were still up here. I'm going to go into the Slack and show you how we've been looking at this pair since that correction. Let's go to US dollar CAD, and this is how it works in our group. This is how we forecast the market. Let's look at US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD. Okay, and we look at the pinned charts here. We look at the one that was done on the 23rd. All right, so this is the current move that you see. This move that came down here, this correction that we want to now break out of. That is what we forecasted when we were still here, right at the top in the blue box. It reversed right here. Now, we are currently trying to push this move to the upside for Z. Okay, so that's number one. We forecasted that we're going to get this move. And then we forecasted exactly how this move was going to play out. And this was the video that I did on the, let's see, this is the one. If you can see here, 27-31 July. look exactly how this plays out. This has made a three-wave move. Remember, this is the move that we said was going to play out. It did not play out impulsively as expected. We wanted this move to play out, okay? And then we wanted this one to do this 1, 2, come down, go up, and give us a three-wave move. If you go to the chart right now, what has played out is exactly the replica of what you have on the screen on the 27-31 August webinar. Right, not only this correction we forecasted, right here, where we forecasted that the blue box is going to be, that is where this move has now started. And this move looks like it's still going to continue. Okay, so this pair can be very, very clear. Now let's go back to the chart and just show you that this, if you can take a snapshot in your memory and just remember what we have here on the screen. Let's go back to US dollar CAD and look at this specific part. Look at that. Exactly. This was, now it has already played, now it has played out. Then it was before. Remember, we said we're going to get this correction right at the top. We get the correction. And we said, right when we were here, this is how the correction was going to set up. And we said that we're going to get another three-wave move here, which we got. And we said, right here, we are going to push up higher. Is this magic? It is the wave theory. It's the Elliott wave theory. When you apply it correctly, you're going to get all these moves. Now, I'm still expecting this to push even higher than this. Now, let me show you how this, because it's easy for me to show you this forecast, but how do we actually trade this? Now, let's look at the way you trade it. Okay, let's look. This was on the 7th. Let's look at all the pinned items here. See if we can see something here. I'm going to go to trade setups. Let's show you. I want to show you, because forecasting the market is something completely different to trading. Let's look at this channel. I think I showed this here last time. I want to get, this is how we trade it. See. So now this is when this move was coming to an end, and we said this was going to come here and reverse in the blue box, get a correction and push higher. And it's exactly what we got. So last week, I think I updated, and you could see that this move was starting to push higher. Okay, that was last week. Now, after that, there was also an entry point for a second trade. Let's show you trade setups. So this just to show how amazing the Elliott wave theory can be when you apply it correctly. Let's see here. I want to see where we actually get another trade. Second entry. See here. So this was after the blue box. We have an entry here. And this was another entry point. We're still in this trade. Okay? Some entered in the blue box. Some took the second trade here. So you should have two trades running. Now, what did I say last week? Last week I said this. Last week, I should actually just cut it. Let me just cut it here and say what we discussed last week. We cut it here. This is an interesting pair. I'm going to spend another 5 minutes here just to show that this pair, when you have got a hang of it, or any pair when you've got the hang of it and you understand what you're doing, it plays out amazingly well. All right, so this is what we said last week. I said if you get a correction at this level, you're going to push up higher into the 32 area. Okay, so this did not do that. Instead, it went and made a deeper pullback around the 50% area. That's fine. It does not change anything. When we play this, we also got another entry, which was clearer than what we had. This did not trigger. Let's pause here. This did not trigger an entry point. You can see here, it was just a flag that did not break out. Okay, so this did not trigger an entry point. Instead, it made a three-wave move up, a three-wave move back, which was a W, X, Y move. So during the week, we looked at this. Unfortunately, you guys don't have access to that. In the group, we looked at this as the first piece, and we had one of those guaranteed trades. And when those spikes were happening in the CAD pairs, this is what we were looking at here. And now we're still looking for this one. Let's see if I've got the projection there. We're still looking for this one to now rally into this new blue box, into this blue box here, before it makes a deeper correction. So this one is very clear, very clear. Okay, I think I have shown you before how we actually traded this one. The same pair, but a different correction. That is actually doing exactly the same thing as the current one. And this is what gives us confidence when you trade this. Let's go to the daily. Let's get this off. Let's go to the daily. Don't worry, we'll have more time to do all the other pairs. If you look at this, we looked at this piece here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's why we are looking for this 5. So check what happened after we got this 5. We actually traded this piece. I think I've shown this in one of the webinars. 1, 2, 3. We're looking for that 1, 2, 3, the last one, and that big drop. The same one we got here. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so this can be a very amazing trade. You can take it up like we did here. We took it up, it corrected, and then we got it up here again, and then we got this big 1,300 pips to the downside. Now, same thing, similar thing is happening, and we actually spoke about this when it was coming down, that it was going to give us a move that is similar to this, because now that one is this one. You see? Now we're looking for this one, which is this one. And then we're going to look for this one. We're going to look for this one. Okay, so US dollar CAD in the next coming sessions can be a very amazing trade, but for now, let's focus on the upside. Okay, a clear breakout of this and another correction here, the deeper correction, you'll be going for this one. But just be careful that because we are going to be looking for this to drop. So you need to watch it when it comes to that level. But I'll expect it to push up higher before it comes down. Okay, so that's how amazing this one is. Very clear, and that is how you trade. Not just focusing the market, because anybody can do that. Even with a bad strategy, you can focus that the market is going to go up or down. But the timing is actually what gives a lot of people a headache. Now let's look at the rest of the US dollar pairs. US dollar CHF. We're still looking for this to push higher. We've got a pulse. We've got a correction. Also, this one, I'm not going to waste your time. You guys know we have posted this one here, looking for a buy here. We're still looking for this to push higher. So just keep look for upside on this one. Any corrective structure, keep buying. Any corrective structure, keep buying. I don't expect this to make this anymore. I expect it to push higher. And this is where this is coming from. If you look at this, we're still looking for this big. We're still looking for this big diagonal there in the higher degree. So look for continuation to the upside. That's US dollar CHF. Let's look at AUD. Okay, AUD, we still want it to come down to the blue box. Still missing by a few pips. Let's go for hour and see how it's setting up. Looks like it's correcting for that one more down that we are looking for. Okay, we said that if it corrects around this level, which is this correction, now it's making this one, looks like we're going to have a bit of a push higher here before we drop, making this a WXY structure. Okay, so there's a likelihood that this one will push a little bit higher correctively and then drop. Alternatively, this could be the start of the move down, which will come back here and go. Okay, so either way, we have to check which one is going to set up first. For now, this is the one that is setting up. This one looks like a correction. And if we break out of here, we'll look for this one to give us a 1, 2, 3 move before we drop. Okay, we want this to come down here before it goes. So there is a likelihood that we're going to get this one together with what we're going to get on gold, because gold has a small move that we need to into the blue box before it drops. Okay, so this is correlated with gold. So there is a likelihood that we may get this bit of a push higher. Not aggressive, but it can happen like that. That's AUD New Zealand, AUD US dollar, and then we look at the New Zealand. New Zealand also looks like it wants to make a bit of a push higher before dropping. It has actually made a 5-wave move. So we've got here correction, got a pulsing move here. Likelihood that we're going to get one more up here. So look for this correction and look for one more up on this one. I'm only giving you a short-term move here. Let's switch off here. I'm not going to go into the daily. So just look for one more up here on this one. Okay, likelihood that it's going to come back again down. But look at this for this correction. When it comes back up here, look for a downside when it starts breaking below this swing here. It is still pretty, it looks impulsive. But if it does this could be a WX and then a Y, then we drop. Okay, that will be this structure here. You will have 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3 there. Let me show it again. So I can draw it cleanly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. This is why you're looking for this one. Give us that before we come back down. So that's why I'm saying look for a corrective structure. A push higher will give you a corrective structure here. So it's not just a matter of coming here and looking at this as a WXY move. You need to look at the structure holistically, because you need to know which degree this is in. Because if you know this degree this is in, you'll know how far this needs to go to the downside. Okay. Right. Let's carry on. Sorry, Ahmed, I missed your question. I'm already moved on from US dollar chief. If you've got a different view, you can post it in the group. All right, that is New Zealand US dollar. Let's carry on with the rest of the US dollar pairs. US dollar ZAR. US dollar ZAR, clearer structure. What we can see exactly what is going on here. So last week we looked at this as a 1, 2, 3 down here. Okay, this has pushed up at this level. There was a likelihood that this was going to come back here and give us this. Okay, but we can now clearly see that this has now dropped here. We are now looking for this one to give us a correction and at least come back to this level. Okay, so we'll be looking for this to even break that top here and give us this 3-wave move. It does not have to break that top, it can make a regular flat. So look out for this correction here. You will at least get a move this size. Okay, likely to come back to that, likely to come back to that level. Okay, so that's how clear that is, short term. Now, I think that's all the US dollar pairs. Let's do silver and gold first before we start with the yen pairs. So gold. Gold has been playing out amazingly well. We've been looking for this move here to play out. Last week, it finally broke out. Okay, was setting this up, it pushed up. We spoke about this pushing up higher into the blue box, missing the blue box by a measly few pips, can still go into the blue box, or it can actually start reversing from here. Okay, so because we're looking for Audi to push a little bit higher, this is the move that we're looking for on the Audi to push into the blue box and then drop. So same thing with gold. We're looking for this one as a 1, 2, 3 wave move. We forecasted this whole correction, and this way you need to be a master of forecasting corrections to be able to get these moves right. Okay, we had this one like this, a WXY move. As it was setting up, we've been looking at it, and now it makes this 1, 2, 3 wave move. Okay, so now I think this is actually complete. It may not even give us that one more up that we're looking for. I think from here, this may have started already 1, 2, and then we'll be looking for the last move to the downside. So this is a 3, this is a 4. As far as the whole structure is concerned, we'll be looking for this one. This structure, that's the structure that we're looking at. We'll be looking for this one to go all the way down. Okay, so that's gold. Let's look at silver. Silver also showing that there's a possibility for this to push a little bit higher, but this move is very corrective, so it may not even go higher. It may just come back here for another move like that. 1, 2, 3. So there's a likelihood that silver can give us that move. Okay, so let's see if that is how it's going to set up. If it sets up like this, it will be interesting to see how this will be related to the gold move, because the gold move we're expecting to go all the way. But if silver completes the structure like this and break down here, we'll be looking for it to go to 1350, as I've been saying for actually almost the last 2 or 3 months. Okay, so let's keep an eye on this one. It's not very clear, but you can see that we've got what looks like a sell setup here. So this could be the catalyst. This could be the confirmation that you see that gold may not have another move to the upside. It may keep going from here. Okay, same as silver can also keep going down from here to the 1350. Okay, but there's also this possibility of this giving us a structure like this place before it goes. Okay, but for now, then what is the next immediate move? The next immediate move that we can see clearly is that this is a likelihood that this one will drop here. Even if it keeps correcting here, as long as this structure completes to the downside, you're going to get a move down here and possibly down here. And this could have ended this whole move here. We've actually focused that whole move on silver as it was playing out, same as what we did with gold. So we may get that Z move eventually. Okay, so we need to see how this one sets up. Look for this one in the week ahead. Okay, right, now let's look at the yen pairs. Pound yen. Now I have to give credit to one of our traders in the group, a very new trader. And this is what the course does. You know, when you attend the course, you start seeing the market differently. I don't know if he's in attendance, but one of our students actually figured this one out. If you remember, I was looking at this last week. I couldn't clearly see what was going on this structure. Okay, this looked like, at some point it looked like a triangle, but it was invalidating the rules of a triangle. It looked like it was going to go down, but it did make no structural sense for it to go down. But one of the new traders, the one who attended the course in, not the recent one, in September. Let me just see if I can find his chart on the pound JPY channel. Actually figured this one out. And the interesting thing is, about 3-4 weeks back, this person was clueless. He was clueless. He could not see the charts properly. He was posting charts that were terrible, to say the least, obviously because he was still learning. But when he did this chart, it actually started becoming clearer to him. I hope I can find his chart. I hope I can find his chart here. Let's see. He kept posting charts. He kept posting charts. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, there is nothing more here. Why can't I find it? Okay, I hope I can find it here on the direct. Let me just move this away because I'm going to go to my direct communication with him, see if he has posted that chat to me directly. Let's see if I can find it. Just hang on a second, guys. This is interesting to see if you can actually learn from this course and be able and be a trader from this. Let's see if I can find it. Unfortunately, I can't find that chat. Okay, I can't find that chat, guys. So, but this is what he figured out. This is what he got it. So he looked at this as a regular flat, a correction, a zigzag, and actually forecasted this blue box that we're currently in now, and forecasted this move that is currently happening. So if we start getting a correction here, this is what he looked at. I don't know if STech is in attendance. If you're in attendance, STech, please send me the chart that you sent me before this move actually happened. Not just this move, current move that is going up. You actually waited for this move to come here. Anticipation. So that's another important when you're a trader. You should not be chasing the market. You should be waiting for it to come to you. Let it come to your levels. So when we were here, he was looking for this to come back down into the bull box and then reverse for this move. Okay, so now that is the advantage of having a lot of traders looking at the same chart. you know. Okay, because what you're essentially doing is the same thing. You're a team putting up the puzzles together. Someone can pick it up. You can see the picture clearer than some people can see the picture clearer than or faster than others, and that is the advantage that we have. So now we're looking at this one here. We're looking for this one to have reversed here, and now we'll be looking for this move to the upside. Okay, so this move to the upside now confirms the overall bigger picture, because it's not just about trading one swing and that's it. So this is the structure that we're going to be looking at now. That means that this swing now to the downside has completed. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a WXY, XZ move. And now we're looking for this one as a W, as a X, and then we'll be looking for this one to give us a Y. So we're looking for this move. Okay. I hope this one plays out for you, X-Jack. Okay. Is he in attendance? I don't see any response. Okay, he's not in attendance. Probably his time zone does not allow him. Yes, we discussed it in the daily webinar as well in detail. That's what we do in our daily webinars. We've got daily webinars where we do trade management. We're not just looking at the forecast. We look at how you're going to enter, where you're going to put your stop, where you're going to put your exit, when you're going to move to break even. So this is what we're looking at on this chart, and this is what the structure is going to look like. And if you're interested in the numbers, you can take a snapshot of this. And this is how this one has changed now. Not necessarily changed. Initially, we were looking at this one. Initially, we were looking for this one to be a 1, 2, 3 W, 1, 2, 3 X, 1, 2, 3 Y. So it looks like this move is not going to happen, but rather we're going to get this one. So let's see which one is going to play out, whether it's going to be this one for down first before we go, or whether we're going to start playing out from here. But I'm more inclined to this one to the upside. All right, Faizan. Yes, let's carry on. That is pound JPY. Look out for this. This is on the 240. You've got an impulsive move here. Look for this. If you get this, you've got a big move to the upside. You're gonna have a good trade to the upside that you're gonna hold for a couple of days. When it gets to clears that level, you need to move your stop to break even. But if you get this here, you're going to get a very nice trade to the upside. That's pound JPY. Let's look at the rest of the pound yen pairs. US dollar yen. So US dollar yen, we looked at all these pullbacks on the yen pairs. You'll see, let's look at this one, US dollar yen. We looked at all these pullbacks. We're expecting these pullbacks that are happening currently on the yen pairs. This one we looked at here. You can see here we talk about levels as well. So this is the pullback. This is on the daily, so you can see that this is around the 12th area, 112.97, even though now this is now reversed a little bit deeper than what it is now. Okay, so that is US dollar JPY. Right, so US dollar JPY can be interesting in that, let's have a look. We could be having this as a move to the upside here. Or this move here, this will determine where we're gonna go. This current correction that we're having here. So we're gonna focus on this and see whether we're gonna get a move up or whether we're gonna get a move down. Let's look what we're gonna have here around the B area. Let's go 1 hour. I don't think we should even go 1 hour. We can look at it on the 4 hour. What we have here on the 4 hour is a 3-wave move up. Looks corrective. 1, 2, 3 up. Okay, 1, 2. Possibility for this one to give us this one and another one like this. This will be a whole corrective structure, and if this is the corrective structure, it's going to come back down here. That means our B is even going to be deeper, or the move to the downside is going to continue, and that can change the structure to be an expanding flat. Let's switch this off here. This can change the structure to be a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, either expanding or a running flat. That will be a move here, a big correction here, and another move. Okay, so let's see which one we're gonna get here. This will tell us. So what do we need to look at in the next week? Next week we see how this plays out, because this can play out also as a diagonal. This can also be a diagonal, but it's premature to focus a diagonal here. If it is a diagonal, you can get this one to do that, and we start pushing up higher. It's becoming a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whichever one it is, it doesn't matter. Let's wait for this to set up. Wait for this to this piece of the puzzle will tell us what the next move is going to be. This piece here will tell us. Okay, so let's keep an eye. Not very clear at this stage. No setup as it is. Wait for it to give you a clear setup. That's US dollar JPY, EURJPY, EURJPY. Let's look at EURJPY. So EURJPY looks like very interesting, and this is, you'll see that almost every pair here we've looked at, and we've got all of that in the setups. EURJPY, let's look for EURJPY. You see here, look at this structure on the daily. I think on the first week of October, I said I'm going to do daily charts. I did also a webinar mostly doing just daily chart. Look at this pullback, we're looking at this pullback, and then I move to the upside. Okay, so we've got now, what we've got now is this piece. Now we want to see if we're going to get this piece to the upside. Okay, let's see here. Now I'm going to go back. I'm not going to go to the daily, or maybe let me go to the daily. I don't want to waste a lot of time. If I go to the daily, so you can see what we're talking about here. This is what we looked at. We looked for that to pull back down, which it has now done. And this is the beauty of the Elliott wave theory. You know how far the pullbacks are going to be, how long, how big the corrections must be. So we looked at this one to pull back here. We had this move here, 1, 2, 3, and we're looking for this one to give us this. You can already see that we've started the up move with the yellow. So now we'll be looking for this one up to the upside as well. But not that in a straight line like that. That's almost too fast. So this can even come back here and do this one and give us that move. But let's see what we have in the 4 hour. Looks like we've got something setting up nicely there. On the 1 hour, we've got what I would like to call a V pattern in our group. A V pattern is one of the very, very most accurate patterns you can find. Okay, so this is what you have here. Let's take this off. This is what we forecasted. Has now happened. Done. Are we done? I think we're done. Okay. Now we're looking for this one to push up higher. Wait for this corrective structure here. If you get a correction here, you're gonna get a move to go and retest that level and even go further. So let's see what we get from here. Wait for a corrective structure. Okay, what you see here is what we use to confirm the moves. We identify cycles in those indicators. Right, so this is what you have. Look for a correction and a push higher. Okay, correction in the 1 hour. It's gonna be a nice one if you get that. Very clear structures. CHFJPY. Let's load CHFJPY. I'm not gonna show you all the setups because otherwise we're gonna waste time, because also this one, we have this one. We also have these on the setups, almost all the yen pairs. And you can see how accurate this is. So now what are we looking at on CHFJPY? Okay, so this move looks impulsive. Looks very impulsive. This move here. Okay, there's a likelihood that this can give us a deeper wave B and a move down before we get a move to the upside, making this a, let's switch off here, making this a 1, 2, 3 W, 1, 2, 3 X, 1, 2, 3 Y, making this a big corrective structure for downside. So you will wait for this one to give you that. This is an incomplete move. It's a single wave. Okay, so let's see if we're going to get another correction here, or if it's going to end with a V pattern. Whichever one it plays out with, we'll expect it to go to the upside. Okay, the euro is starting to go up, and we'll expect this to follow the euros as well. Okay, let's go for hour. Right, so 4 hours showing that we may get a break to the upside as well. Okay, we may already have started here. Correction. We'll look for this to reverse. This may still just be a three-wave move, and we get that move to the downside. So premature to look at this one. That's CHFJPY. Audi yen. Okay, Audi yen. We've got this corrective structure that is currently playing out here. We've got a pulse, we've got a correction here in the middle. We've got another pulse. Likely that this is a 1, 2, 3 correction, and we're going to come down. Okay, so it looks like the AUDSD is going to be weak in the next coming sessions. But there's no confirmation here. You need to have this one correcting in the 1 hour. Let's go 1 hour. Let's go 1 hour and see what this is doing here. It looks like we've got a pulsing move down after that. So let's see. You've got that move down. This could be the correction. If this is the correction, then this could have now completed this move here. Not like that. Let's switch off here. So we have only the annotation showing here. We've got one. We've got one here. We've got 1, 2, 3 there. 1, 2, 3 there. Push up, B correction, B wave correction. Now you look for this one to come down. Okay, so this would have completed a 3-wave move like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then down. Okay, from the swing up, correction, and then down. That's what you're going to look out for. You can even wait for this corrective structure to be complete at that level. You can see that channel, it's in that channel. Okay, so now you have reversed from there, you're correcting here. We'll expect this to break all the way down. That's AUDJPY. Okay, just remember those channels, we're not trading them, they're just showing us how the structure looks and how it's setting up. All right, so that's AUDJPY, Audi New Zealand JPY. Okay, so it will be interesting to see because Audi and New Zealand are supposed to go in the same direction, but as far as this is concerned here, we've got a 3-wave move up, we've got a 3-wave pullback, we've got a single wave up. This looks like it's giving us one of those trades. Let's just check something here. Okay, we are not there yet. So it looks like here, if we correct here, you may come back to this level. You may come back up around this level. Okay, let's see how that plays out. So look out for a correction in the lower degree. Look out for a correction here and look for this to go into that level. Okay, that's what you're going to look out for. Let's see, am I on the 1 hour? Yes, I am. Oh, why do I have this? Let's take this off. Okay, so this can do that set up like that into that blue box. Let's see how that plays out. It will be interesting to see if the Audi is going to carry on with the move down and if this is going to push higher. So let's see. We'll look at that as it plays out. All right, let's carry on. CAD. CAD is still looking downside. If you remember, I showed you this harmonic pattern last week. It's still playing out. We're still coming down. Okay, CAD is going down with oil as well. Let's see if we're gonna have. I don't think we're gonna have 1, 2 here. I don't think we're gonna have a bounce here for down. I think it's just gonna carry on with the move down here. Let's just look for correction here for further downside. Okay, still bearish on CADJPY. I think that's all the yen pairs. We can now go to the pound pairs. Let's look at the pound. So the pound, if you look at pound chief, if you look at pound chief and what we discussed in the first week of October, this is one of the charts, one of the pairs, especially all the pound pairs. I posted that we're looking for bearish moves in the next coming sessions. Let's look at pound chief. You look at pound chief. This was on the daily, and we look for this one to correct here and push up higher. We could already see that it has first made this move here. We wanted it to make this move or also on this side. So this move on this side had started here on this side for the Z. Let's go back to the chart. You'll see that all the pound pairs have got similar structures, and I've updated all of this in the webinar. I think in the first week was the 6th. So now we're busy making these corrective structures. Let's see how this corrective structure sets up. This one can come back here for 1 to complete this X, or it can just go from here. Okay, so we're looking for that continuation to the upside on the 4-hour here. Okay, so look out for the completion of this correction. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then up. That's pound chief, pound CAD. I'll show you all of them. I didn't want to waste all the time in the beginning with trades recap to show you all of this. Pound CAD. You see also, we said that we're expecting this to break out and give us a 3-wave move. See, when you see the cycle, you'll know exactly where the market is going. So that's pound CAD. Now, pound CAD we discussed during our daily webinar. We could see that this was making this textbook V pattern here. V pattern always breaks to the upside. Now look for a corrective structure here and for it to push higher. I think it will even break this and go higher than what we're currently seeing there. Okay, very clear structure. Now you're looking for this one upside. That's pound CAD. Pound AUD, I don't have to talk anymore about this. This one, we waited for it to come down to the blue box. Okay, it makes the blue box by a measly few pips here, but it has now made a pulsing move to the upside. Go to the 1-hour, look for correction. Looking for upside here as well. Look for this correction here. I'm looking for this to go even further up. Okay. It has made this move. 1, 2, 3, pulse. We're looking for this to go. Okay. Look out for here. A lot of setups here. Pound New Zealand. I think that's the last pound pair. Pound New Zealand. So pound New Zealand, a little bit tricky at this stage, but it has also made a 3-wave move down here with a running flat in the middle. 1, 2, 3 there. Now it's made a passing move. Is it going to make a 3-wave move at least? Let's see. Even if it's going to bounce here, it does not look like this is the reversal. It may even still get another move to the downside. But let's keep an eye and see how this one plays out. We are now on the 1-hour, but it doesn't look like, it looks like this one wants to pull down. Well, let's see when the market opens. If this 1, 2, 3 up and this correction is going to give us another 1, 2, 3 up. That's pound New Zealand. I think that concludes all the pound pairs. Did I miss any pound pair? I think we've done all of them. Let's look at Euro pound. We'll start with the euros now. The euros, let's go back to the 4-hour or the daily. Okay, so if you look at this one also, see all this. If you got a chart on if you got a daily chart, you'll have a trade for the next couple of weeks, months. Let's look at Euro pound. Euro pound. You see that we wanted this one to give us this red X correction here for downside. I think we've got that correction now. Let's see how this is going to play out now. On this is where we were. Let's show this where the red X is now formed. We've got this now. Okay. I'm not expecting another correction here. This is all the correction that we needed. I don't know why I did not update. I had updated this. Okay, so we'll wait for this one to break to the downside. So this X is not, it does not look to be complete. Let's go to the 4 hour. If you look on the 4 hour, welcome, Christopher. Right, so if you look at this one here, it does not look complete. We've got this. Yes, it may come back down here, but it may go for one before it comes down. So this X is not in place yet. It may only come down to that level, but we are still looking for this to come down. And this is the structure that we're looking at on the daily. That's the one that I showed on the chart. You see how accurate this is. Okay, we're looking for this one here. 1, 2, 3, X. We're looking for this one to give us this, which gives us a WXY move that makes this whole thing a corrective structure and a move to the upside. So this can even be deeper, but it does not have to be. Okay, so let's see what we get here. As soon as this correction is done, we should have a nice trade to the downside for one last down here. Okay, so this is the kind of correction that you're gonna wait for. As I've indicated, one, maybe a flat in the middle. That's gonna make it deeper like that. Okay. That's a Euro Pound, the rest of the Euro Pes, EUROCAD. Now EUROCAD, also very interesting. You can see how many of these setups we had in the last couple of days. That's why I could not discuss all of them in the beginning. Otherwise, we're gonna have to spend the whole time for the webinar. Let's go EUROCAD. EUROCAD, look at this here. Perfect setup. We just wanted it to correct and then move up. And that is what is happening now. Let's go back. It has now given us that correction. Let's just show that it's exactly the same chart. You can see that I have not even removed those arrows. Given a correction, has made a pulsing move. And now look for a corrective structure to take this one back to this level. This is a daily chart, so it's a couple of, it's not a short move. It can be about 100 or 200 pips to that level, and can even break higher than that. So 4 hour. See there, the correction happened. Very clear correction, very clear setup. Okay, the first candle closes out here. You get that correction and the trade. Okay, so now we're looking for continuation here. Look for continuation to the upside. EUROCAD. Right, EURAUD. Same. EURAUD, we actually thought it was going to go from here. Okay, we actually took a trade when it broke out of here. We thought it was going to go from here. If I just show what the forecast was here, we're looking for it to go from here. Make a shallow correction and go, but it has made a deeper correction now. Doesn't mean anything here. So we've got this one here. We've got this pulse here. We're just looking for a correction and continuation to the upside. And that is the target on EURAUD minimum. If we get this, we're going to be looking for it to take it there. That's EURAUD. EUROCAD we looked at. EUROCHF, very interesting. And this is how amazing wave theory can be. Before we even look at that, let's look at how I actually discussed this setup here last week. And let's look at EUROCHF. Okay, EUROCHF. Now you see here, we said this one is starting with a leading diagonal here. See, that's leading diagonal. And we said we need to get a wave 2. As corrective as it looked here, we could see that this move was now starting to change direction. We have now got this 3-wave move as expected. And now let's just go back into the chart. EUROCHF, you see here, that is on the 4 hour now. this was the forecast that we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to have this 3-wave move. Look at the 3-wave move, it has completed, and after completing, we get a pulsing move to the upside. Now you just need to get a correction here to take it further up. Okay, let's just go back to the daily and remind you what you will be looking at. So many setups. You see the Christmas rally seems to have started. You should be rich by Christmas. I'm just kidding. You can only make what your account can afford. All right, but you should make a lot of money. You should have a lot of good setups. This is what we're looking at. We're looking at this as a 1, and this is the 2 that we spoke about, and now we're looking for an upside. Let's see how this set up. It has now made a nice correction here. Look out for a corrective structure for further upside. So many nice setups in the next coming sessions. That's EURUSD, EURGBP, anything else? I think we've discussed all the euro pairs. Did I miss any? Is anybody missing any euro pair? Oh, Euro New Zealand, thank you. Euro New Zealand. Okay, so Euro New Zealand. Let's see if this is going to push up higher with the rest of the euro pairs with this move. It's not very convincing because this looks impulsive, and I don't like an impulse in the middle of a correction. Okay? But let's see how this is going to set up. Okay, whether you're going to get a correction here, and this is going to come back down here and make a deeper correction like that. This becomes now a W here. At this stage, this does not look clear. So let's wait and see what we get as a setup here. We're still looking for this to push up higher. Okay, we just need to get a structure that shows us that we're ready for further upside. It could have been reversing here already. This could have been a reversal already here and then push. But we'll see that as the market opens. But there's so many other euro pairs to trade that have got a clearer structure that you can trade other than this one. All right, that's Euro New Zealand. Now let's look at some of the CAD and the New Zealand pairs. Yes, a very nice one. Structure is starting to set up very nicely. Your AUDCAD. Let's look at AUDCAD. Let's take this off. I'm going to show you the high level view. And if I show you this, you should be able to trade this. If you've got a strategy, you should be able to trade this in the next couple of days. Okay, so what you have here is a simple 3-wave down, 3-wave correction, and 3 waves down. These 3 waves down, yes, we'll do New Zealand CAD as well. Thank you. So these 3 waves down still looks like we've got one more down. Now look how interesting this is. You've got 1, 2, 3. You've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This giving you this green correction here. 1, 2, 3. So you've got a running flat in the middle here. Okay, you've got the yellow degree, you've got a running flat here in green, and this yellow degree does not look to be complete. And here you also have 1, 2, 3. You just need to complete this. If this is completed here, you're going to have a nice big move to the upside, similar to this. Let's do this in the different color. Similar move to that, move, big correction, and a move. So it's going to be a very interesting one. You don't get situations like this every day. You can see how long it took for this to set up from 2012 up until today. So it's just a matter of time before this pushes out higher and give us a 1, give us a 2, and give us this big move. These are the moves that don't come every day. So you need to keep an eye on this in the next coming sessions. Okay, so that's AUDCAD. But this does not mean that it is ready to go. As far as the sequence is concerned, I'm going to go into the lower time frame. It looks like we still going to have one more down. I'm going to go 4 hour. Looks like we're going to have one more down. Okay, we have a push higher in 3 waves here at this stage. A1, A2, and a 3. This 3 is incomplete. It may push a little bit higher. So we'll get in confirmation whether this is going to go higher or not. But I think what we're going to have here is this coming down for one more before we actually go, because it has not reached the blue boxes yet. I don't know if I projected the blue box on the daily. We want that blue box. Let's see on the daily. Let's see. Okay, I didn't project it. Next time when we discuss this, you will see it. So this will also tell us whether we're ready to go. As far as this looks, it does not look ready. This looks corrective. We're going to get one more. So when we get this one more, and then we get divergence here as well, okay? There's a number of confirmations that we look at. Then we'll be looking for this one to go all the way. For now, I don't think this is ready. I don't think this is ready to go yet. I think we're going to have one down, and then we're going to go. Break the low, and then go. We'll see how that goes. That's AUDCAD, New Zealand CAD, NZDCAD. NZDCAD also did not quite reach the level we wanted. Let's see what we're going to have here. It has missed this level by a measly few pips, but that does not change the structure. It can go without touching or breaking this low here. So if this is the pulsing move, if we get a correction here, take this, hold it for some time. Hold it for some time. It's going to be an interesting one. Okay. This move looks very impulsive. You just need to get a correction for entry. Okay, that's New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD, New Zealand, Audi New Zealand. Then we're going to look at the indices. So New Zealand made this corrective structure here. It's coming down 1, 2, 3. Let's see if this is going to push up higher after that for this Y move. For this Y move. So this will be this 1, 2, 3 wave there, and then we'll look for this to push higher. Okay. Look out for that. Blue box and then up. All right. We'll update that as it goes. Right now, you cannot go and sell this. You cannot go and buy this yet. No setup. If you wanted this, you should have taken it when it was around that area. Actually made a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangle there. Okay, so that's out in New Zealand. So now let's look at the, I think we can look at the, okay, we can look at oil first. Let's look at oil first before we look at the indices. Oil. So oil is making this structure after the fifth wave. It has made a 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. Now we're expecting it to make a passing move down here to the blue box minimum. This is actually the blue box here. We want it to come in here, but it can go through the blue box if it's making an expanding flat, as long as it does not go beyond this. This is the invalidation area. Okay, so oil can come down as much as the blue box, push lower. It can even turn here and make a running flat. Okay, so a running flat does not give you warning. A running flat does not give you warning. So it can turn here, but I'm not expecting it to do that. I'm expecting it to at least come down to the blue box, maybe even push a little bit lower before it goes. That's oil, so look for another correction. Take it in here. If you get a correction here, it should come into the blue box around that area. Don't be surprised if it pushes lower than the blue box and does this. It can happen. Right, now let's look at the S&P 500 indices now. I see my charts did not update. I don't know what happened here. Let's look in the 4-hour. Flipper. I had updated these charts. Okay, I'm going to do it right now. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at here on S&P 500. We've got this three-wave move down here, and I'm looking at this one as a move up, as a move down, as a regular flat. This one here. See here, we've got a regular flat there, and after that regular flat, we're looking at this one as a correction, and we're looking at this one as a 1, 2, 3-wave move. So you've got W, X, Y move there. You've got A, B, C down there. Let me take it off here. You've got 1, 2, 3 down here, which is an A, B, C move. So we're expecting another 1, 2 here, 3 down, which is going to be another A, B, C move. Okay, so what you're going to have eventually here is that this whole thing is now going to be a wave 4, and your structure is going to be 1, 2, 3 down W, 1, 2, 3 up X, 1, 2, 3 down Y, and then that should continue the move up. That's why I was saying the indices are not dropping, they are correcting, and this is how this always happens. So you're going to be looking at this whole thing as a complex B correction, as a regular flat with a complex B correction there. So that's what we're going to be looking at. So what are we looking at in the next coming session? You're looking for this one, this B to correct, drop one more before we start pushing higher. So if we're still bearish short term with these pullbacks. Okay. Unfortunately, my chart, my updated chart's deleted, so you would have had a nice screenshot. But what I had drawn there is actually the analysis on that. That is the S&P 500. Let's look now at the Nasdaq. Let's actually look at this one, Nasdaq. Nasdaq as well here. I don't know, all of them have disappeared. I did this morning. Okay, and this is what we had here. We had this one here. There's a diagonal. So there's a possibility that this is a 1, this is a 2. That's starting to set up for a wave 5, or a bigger wave 5 here. So let's see how this one plays out. 1, correction here in 2, before we start going up here. So the invalidation area for that count is going to be here, because this is supposed to be the orthodox low. This is where the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starts. Your 5 is ending with a diagonal, and that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before we drop. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking at. You've got to move down, you've got to pull back. It's going to do this. As long as it does not drop below this, then that will change that count. All right, that is the Nasdaq. Now we look at the rest of the pairs and UK 100. UK 100 still looking to drop, also did not come. All my indices did not come update. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm gonna update this like this. So W, so X, and then a Y. Let's take this off. Let's take this off. Okay, so it looks like we're still gonna drop a little bit more. So here you've got to move up. You need to get a correction here. Another move up. Maybe a 3-wave move up. 1 drop before we go to at least take that level. That's where the Y will be from there. Okay. Right, so that is indices there. So let's see how that one goes. Look out for this corrective structure here. Okay, it's UK 100. And then DAX or NIKKEI first. Looking at the NIKKEI has got a clearer structure than most, because you've got 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, takes the top, comes down with an impulse. This correction here, expected to drop here for this move to be like this. So you're going to have A, B, C there, A, B, C, and another A, B, C there, making this a WXY move for a push higher. So we are still here, look for a drop. So the pullback on the indices is not done as yet. We're still going to pull back down. Right, that is the Nikkei, the DAX. DAX 1, 2, 3, pullback 1, 2, 3. Is this down or is it going to push a little bit further down? This looks like it's going to push a little bit further down to make this three-wave move. So you can see all of them are making these corrections. Okay. Not clear. I think you rather trade the Nikkei than this one. Or the S&P 500 is a lot clearer. Right, so that is the DAX. I think that concludes all of them. Nifty. Nifty, this one we may start looking at like the Nikkei. As a three-wave down, three-wave up, breaking the top here, now coming down with an impulse, so making this an expanding flat or a running flat. So this can come here, break, and go, making this expanding flat. Okay, so let's see how it goes. So we've already made this three-wave move here, and it has already made a gap down. So a correction here, minimum can come back to that level. Okay, so that is the Nifty. And now I think we can go to the cryptocurrencies. Okay, just look at the Dow. The Dow should be the same as the S&P 500. They're all pulling back. They've made three-wave corrections, now pulling back down, pushing back down again. Any correction, we're looking for this to come back down. Okay, now let's look at the Nifty. We looked at the Nifty, the Sun Pharmaceutical stock. We're still looking for it to go to the upside. This stock that we're looking at, I'm looking at for one of the Indian traders. So this one, when this starts completing, when this correction is complete here, you take it up, because now it will have made a nice decent correction, which would be a WXY move. And you'll see here internally here you had a nice ABC move. And now you're looking for this one to push up higher, maybe with another ABC move. This will be a very interesting one. It looks like it's breaking out of there, not convincing, but if it does, look for a correction outside and take it up further. Still looking for a higher target. Now, looking at the cryptocurrencies, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has not gone anywhere since last week. Okay, we're on the 240 here. I'm not gonna go to the high time frame. I think you guys can, from previous charts, how we're looking at this so far. So what we have here, we've got this one is a regular flat. Okay, it has made a 1, 2, 3 up. Now it's making a pulsing move down. It's making this pulsing move down. Correction. I'll expect this one to come back down with this move. At least minimum, take this level, and the next one will be this one. Okay, so look out for this corrective structure to come back down. That's Bitcoin. Looking at Litecoin, let's look at Litecoin. It looks like it's making this structure. So far, it is still a valid triangle at this stage, a running one for that matter, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we're gonna drop a little bit lower here in this triangle. It's an A, B, C, D. This triangle complies with all the rules. A, B, C, D, E there, and then we're coming down. So we've got a corrective structure here, expected to come back down and break this low. Okay, that's Litecoin. Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum, if you're looking, okay, we're still looking at this swing to the downside, and now this is correcting like this, 1, 2. This may push a little bit up here to give us this structure. Okay, so you can see that even we still have this move here to the downside, but it's still correcting, so we can still get one more down. Okay, we're looking for one more down even on Ethereum. So let's see in the next coming sessions how this current move sets up. Let's just have a look here. We'll see how this sets up. 3 up, 3 back, 1, 2, 3, then down. Okay, let's see. Right, Ripple. Same as similar as Ethereum. Let's have a look here. We had this last pulsing move to the upside, and it came down with a 3-wave move. 1, 2, 3. Now it's coming back. It's coming up with this one. So we've made a pulsing move up. We're making this correction. Expect at least a move to the upside. But we're still looking overall for this to drop. Could even come back and retest the previous high, but I doubt. Let's see how this one's gonna play out. Okay, not very clear at this stage. And that's all I had for you this week. So many setups, guys. If you've got a trading strategy, you should make a lot of money in the next coming sessions. Right, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great week. Cheers. Bye-bye.